Good morning, Deepa. Welcome to Shambhavi Spectrum. One mom is equal to all moms. Such a pleasure to have you here, and I've waited a long time for this. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Shambhavi. Thank you so much for having me as your guest on your show. It has been a lovely morning here in Bangalore, chilly, windy, and a very cold morning.
I think that's special about Bangalore always. Yeah, the weather is
Bangalore
beautiful.
begins to feel like Bangalore today.
So, Deepa, the homepreneur, I see that there's a registered R out there. Could you share a little bit about homepreneur before we talk about other things? I'm very excited. And yes, I must tell my audience that I connected with you through LinkedIn and through Shiro's group. And what really excited me at that point was the fact that you were mentioned by Sridhar Vembu of Zoho, and like he's been our local homegrown hero for all of us. So when you get mentioned by a person like that, you have to have done something remarkable. So please share with us how does homepreneur happen, and then how did your mention? I'm so excited. Please just go ahead.
Thank you, Shambhavi. It was indeed a moment of pride when somebody sent me a very personal message on LinkedIn saying that you got featured on Sridhar's keynote presentation here at Zoho. So it was Mr. Raju from LinkedIn who gave me that message. So it so happens that Zoholics is an all-year event, happens all across the globe. So we have just finished Zoholics in Bangalore, and the team has moved to the Zoholics in Mumbai to address the partners, address the audience there. So following Sridhar's keynote speech, there was a member in the audience who is trying to connect and trying to inquire or ask or get an understanding of the product called as Zoho Creator, which is a low-code, no-code platform. It's basically an app building platform. So this gentleman from the audience is a chartered accountant, and he is trying to understand the comfort of how can one build app when the person does not have much of a technical know-how, doesn't know programming languages. So it is in this context that Sridhar happened to mention Homepreneur, that here you have a working POC model. So it's not as difficult as you think it is. Go ahead and explore. And the more you explore, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more doubts emerge, and that is how you learn further, and you can definitely build apps that suit your own business model. Now, it was such a humbling moment to have been mentioned by Sridhar, because he remembers the journey of Homepreneur. The journey of Homepreneur is very closely tied with Zoho. So how did it all start? So when I would have to go back to 2008. So 2008 is a time where I just felt like, I come from an aquatic biology background. I'm a marine biologist by academia. And coming down to Bangalore, there was not much employment opportunities available for someone like me. I was not a research student, so I was not looking for research. But again, no employment opportunities. And given the mindset at that time, I was not inclined to watch my time with tele-serials and Stars Bahu serials, which was more popular at that time.
Absolutely. There might be I think the only option which you would have had available would have been a teaching job somewhere, or, maybe tuitions, if it is like, if you want to be home-based. I think that would have been the main.
Yes. Totally true. And these things, and we just came back from a trip abroad, and it was as close to relocating, so not many people knew about my existence in the community as well. So that is a time that blogging was picking up pace in the internet area, where Wikipedia was coming up. There were more bloggers. People were blogging about the things that they actually liked. So it was not blogging for sale. It was more about blogging about their hobby, blogging about their passion, sharing the knowledge. And it felt a good thing for me too as well. What's there to lose? mean, you're not letting out personal information. You're sharing the knowledge that you have gained, and it improves the way, I mean, writing helps me with clarity as well.
Good.
So
I just
as
want to
started
interrupt you.
writing,
Yeah, I just want to interrupt you here for a moment. Did you have computers and any part of that as your academic course? Was it involved? I mean, had it already been integrated into our education system at that point?
no, not when the time when I finished my postgrad from Baroda MS University. So there was, I mean, our science lab had a computer, and since I come from the fisheries and aquatic biology background, the only interaction we have had is our professor showing the evolution of fish on the computer screen with MS Paint.
I get that.
So that's the base level computer interaction. And given the kind of subject that I've chosen, I never had a formal computer education as well. So it was post my PG, I had enrolled myself with APTECH just so that I could understand what a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint is. And beyond that, I would also include Visual Basic for message box, alert, the end. My computer education is done there. So this is, I can't even call it as a diploma of sorts. So coming back to this, I started blogging, and I started writing about things. About things that interest me, things that disturbs me, things that I believe that we could be we could be the instrument of change, things that inspires me. So we read a lot of things. The daily newspaper has content that anybody who wants to blog can write about. And just because I had no other work, I was doing this. So it became my work to fish for content, to fish for titles every day, to research for titles every day, so that I have something to write the very next day. So I had not realized it at that time, but I was subconsciously giving work for myself. Following this, what happens is one such Google hopping, link hopping led me to Zoho Creator, where it says Zoho Creator. That's all. Create something in Zoho. That's a straightforward meaning I got it. Now, why was I searching, or what was my intent of that search is, as I started blogging, I was already blogging in for 2 years. It's 2010, and I read about an article that says virtual assistants in Outlook Money. So it's like you are a remote assistant, they delegate tasks to you, you perform tasks for them, and you get paid for it. So there are genuine people, there are people with not so genuine intentions as well. So I really didn't want to put out my contact information, such as emails and phone number, in my public domain. So I basically needed a HTML form, and I had no idea how to build a HTML form. So it's during these understanding, like, how do I do it? I came up to Creator. So 1 hour later, I had a simple contact form, your name, your email, and what is the message that you want to tell me. I will get back to you with the response. So it's a simple three field contact form that I created in Zoho Creator. I embedded the form in my blog page, and I started blogging. I mean, my blogging continued every day. So I received a message that said, look, Deepa, I am so-and-so. I'm a professor in XYZ University. I want to start up a corporate blog. This is the concept of the blog. My website is up. So would you like to bring up a team of writers, manage the blog, and get it published? So that was my first work from home stint. That was my first work from home stint. And it was a wonderful time managing the team of 8 writers.
It's amazing, because all the hard work that you put into writing every day and being consistent, and then you have it's on a plate that, okay, you have this team, and you need to handle it, because finding writers is very difficult. I keep seeing every day on some social media platform or the other, searching for writers, genuine ghost writers. And of course, our recent, we've had some famous publications also done by ghostwriters. So writing is like so important, and knowing how to connect, how to coordinate. How did you manage? How did they take up the, how did they decide that you were the authority? I mean, the team, the person who contacted you perfectly well must have seen your content consistently. What about the team? How did they respond to this?
Oh, the team took very well. I'm so happy to have worked with such a wonderful team, because as much as I was new to the team, every other member was new to the team as well. The client had taken a personal responsibility to handpick this team for his blog. Now, bringing the team together was the easy part. Writing comes naturally to all of us. That too was the easy part. The difficult part was to actually manage the content. We need to have a constant stream of titles. The writers are submitting content, and it gets churned, it gets edited, it gets reviewed, and then it has to go to our webmaster for publishing as well. Now that became a headache. 3 weeks into the entire sequence, I was spending more time managing, very less time writing, because we had such a huge team, and version control was becoming a problem. And uh, keeping this on one side if I have to box it out,
Yes.
keeping this in one box, the other box is where I was actually trying to explore Zoho Creator after my contact form. So then I realized, okay, if contact form can accept requests, then our writers can submit it there as well. So I built an app, a small app with 1 or 2 forms that says, okay, writers, pick your title, submit your document here, and share access with the editorial team. They download it, they review it, they put their review comment within the same application itself. So this email clutter totally vanished. It took me 5 days to build the app, and the email clutter totally vanished. Now every writer can see at what stage of publish is their document is. Is it under review? Is it requesting a revision, or is it already published? So that is stage 1, where we actually manage the content to go live.
And we are talking about, we are talking about a PC based. We've not yet entered into the mobile arena or anything. We're still talking about
No. It's simple PC. It's cloud. It's browser based. We writers don't use phone to write. At least I don't use phone to write. I don't know if anybody does. But
no, since you mentioned app, the minute we say app, everyone always, the first thing is a mobile app.
Yes.
And mobile compatibility. Hence my question to you, that in 2010, we are still talking about, the PC or a laptop at best.
Yes. Not even tab. I totally agree. And it is relevant that you're asked this question as well. So yes, it was totally PC based. And stage 1 was, the problem was we had a huge clutter of email threads that says, what happened to this? What is a revision? Now that entire clutter vanished in 5 days, because that app served the purpose. You upload, somebody reviews, and review comments are there. Webmaster reviews, whatever is approved, he takes it and puts it out in the web page. And after publishing, the webmaster would come and update the title here, saying that this is now published. So writers are happy. They submit 7 to 10 content per week, and 5 and 6 of them are getting published per each writer. So look at the amount of content that gets generated for this corporate blog. Followed by, the next stage was how to writers. It's time to pay the writers. They write on they get paid on a per article basis. So again, Zoho Creator to the rescue. A couple of fields to identify payment status. Client completes the payments offline through PayPal. PayPal was more predominant at that time. So he would just come here and mark it as paid. And the writers would again go back, mark it as acknowledged. So the system is totally out there on the cloud, on the browser. Everybody exactly knows how much they have submitted over a week, how many of them got paid, how much invoice is pending. So this is where the whole picture began to emerge for me, that see, if I had a problem, I'm able to solve it using Zoho Creator. I have no computer background. I learned by doing it. I have written innumerable mails to Zoho support system.
I was going to ask you that did you get some support from them? And we are still talking about when there are no chatbots. So you have to mail them, and then they have to respond in whatever time frame that they can. So I was going to ask you this.
Yes, totally. Even though the product was pretty much new at that time, their help documents were top notch. I did really need help from the core support team, but then it is only after exhausting the reading of all the help documents. There was no YouTube channel. There was no YouTube videos to tell me how to do this, how to set up an automation, etc. So it was all text based, it was all email based, and screen recording also was not there. I mean, at least I didn't know, maybe it was there, but I was not aware of the screen recording. So I would painstakingly take up screenshots, arrange them in sequence, put it across, and the support members would take time to understand, come back to me. We rarely had any phone interaction because these mails would suffice. I mean, to tell them what is my problem, and they would respond back with equal amount of detail so that I can resolve my problem as well. So this is just me and Zoho Creator, that's all. But Homepreneur, the journey, I mean, little did I realize that this is a paying opportunity that I can explore. So that was also the time where freelancing sites like Elance, Odesk, freelancer.com, Scriptlance. So Scriptlance was something that's more popular among the tech group, thinking that it is where techie people go and find freelance work. So I happened to find my work in Odesk and Elance. So these were the two popular sites where I was able to set up a profile for myself, and I started getting continuous flow of jobs for Zoho Creator, related to Zoho Creator. Zoho, right now, Zoho has about 40 plus products in their Zoho suite. Back then, it was a little less, but still it was quite a bit of a number. It's a personal choice that I chose to stick to Zoho Creator because I started getting comfortable with it. I started to understand the product a little bit more with each ongoing project that comes my way. So Elance and Odesk helped me a great deal. I never had an issue with missed payment or a bad client because they vet their clients before they put up their project on board, and there is a verified badge against each client which tells me that, you know, if I'm going to be applying for a project, then I personally make sure that it's a verified client. So today, if anybody is looking for freelance work, I would strongly recommend that you go up and look Upwork, UPWORK, upwork.com. Yep. Elance and Odesk is merged, and this is their new identity since the past couple of years. So Upwork is a very good platform. You will find freelance work. You'll find very verified clients there as well for you to begin your journey. And they have scores of categories through which opportunities can be searched in a way. So that is how that's a start of the homepreneurial journey. Sorry to have taken so long.
No, not at all. This is your show, and I want from your journey, from how you've come and how now what you have been doing. And so, as I understand, Deepa, this Homepreneur is got a copyright in something. Would you like to share that? I see the R mark, so I'm quite curious about it.
Yes. So I registered for the copyright on Homepreneur sometime in 2016. And since then, the word is copyrighted and the logo as well. 2 years back, we have had a brand mascot designed and delivered by Doc Hippo from Calcutta. So their team has, they're excellent at these little avatars, images, which you should certainly look out at dochippo.com. So you'll have a lot of small GIFs and graphics that can be used for every occasion, for corporate, for non-corporate, for personal, for celebration. So the team has designed a beautiful set of mascots for us. It's a set of 6 mascots. Each has its own purpose, serving its own purpose. You can find them in Homepreneur's Insta and LinkedIn handle at all times. So
I want to say this. I don't know about what my audience is going to do, but I'm highly tempted at every point to quickly jot down whatever you're saying. But I think I'm going to go back to the interview myself and listen, because you're just coming up with nuggets of information and sources. And thank you for that, Deepa. And when you say we, who is we? What is it that we are talking about? Tell me that.
Yes. So we is Homepreneur. Homepreneur is an entrepreneur working from home. Homepreneur is not an employee. Homepreneur is not a freelancer. Now, why do I say that is, a freelancer is someone who looks for work between jobs. It's this is not a judgment call to anybody, but this is more of saying that they have their own reason. But a homepreneur is not in between jobs. An employee is on job, a freelancer is doing work in between jobs, but a homepreneur has very consciously chosen a method of work where you have decided to work on a certain terms. It could be time based, it could be day based, it could be the actual skill based. All that apart, there is a certain reason why it has been chosen, and they stick to it. Now, I have chosen to work from home because I had 1, 2, 3, 4 personal reasons. Now, when those reasons were live and happening back in 2008, 2010, it made sense to me. Today, those reasons no longer stand true for me. Those problems are resolved, but I still chose to be this way. It's a very willful choice.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you on that, because I've been working for 30 plus years now, but I've always worked on a flexible timing. For me, that was very important, more than anything else, that I could go and come at a time which was preset, but flexible. So that was, and that I totally understand what you're saying. And it had nothing to do with what you were getting paid or, where your location of work was. It was just that flexibility was important to me, like you said, as a person. So but I went out. And the same thing which you're saying is that whatever your reason, you change, but those some things, they remain constant because that's how you are comfortable and you probably shine best at that moment.
True, very true, very true. So when I say we, today I am working, today I have a project where I am the single person working on the entire project. I also have another project where I team up with a couple of other homepreneurs because the project requires additional hands. So we is more relative here depending on what you're working on. So sometimes it's just me and I goes to say, I am working on this. I will give this to you. I will give you the update. I will take you through the process. Sometimes it's going to me, okay, we are doing this. Raksha is working on some portion of this development. Sushma is working on another portion of the development. You can see a consolidated review. You can take a consolidated review next week. So that is why we is very relative here. Unless you are into the project, it's hard to understand that.
So as a person who is part of a team or, as I understand many times, leading a team, how do you decide how to incorporate that person, or who should you incorporate? Are there some certain qualities that you look for? As a team leader, do you look for certain qualities in people?
Yes, I certainly look for one quality, which is punctuality. That's all.
I am afflicted by it. So I say this.
I mean, it's not because of any high standard notion of punctuality. It is because a homepreneur's time is very, very limited. It's very limited. I mean, let's see. I mean, all of us are moms here. All of us, those who are not mom, also you would understand that, the house a house functions at a certain time zone. There is rush hour at the house. There are times where you cannot be disturbing your father but there are times where you get annoyed when your father comes and talks to you. I mean, we need to zone in at that time so that we can give the best of our efforts. So punctuality is something that I would show up there. I mean, you work good, you know the work, you don't know the work, you learn the work, all that is possible. You don't know, you learn. You make mistake, you do again. These are not qualities or traits. These comes by practice. Now, second is just show up on the mat. I mean, as they say, if you want to get better at health and you want to do yoga, doing yoga is the easy part. Showing up on the mat at the same day, at the same time, every single day, that's the most difficult part. So I really look forward working with the team that shows up for work. My timings would be different. My colleagues' timing would be different. We find a mutual time slot, but we show up on the same time. I log off my teammate takes over, completes the work, gives an update, which I don't have to be present live. I mean, we have a lot of tools to manage that. We have WhatsApp to give us an update. We have Trello to give an update. We have email to give an update. But do it your own time. And when I'm expecting an update, give me an update. When you're expecting help, you will find help in your inbox. So punctuality and that perseverance to continue. Those are the only two things I'm looking for.
Very nice.
And trust me, these work as well.
So, Deepa, on another note, I have been following your Instagram handle, obviously, since we connected, and I find that you give a lot of value out there. And we can't really say that it is gyan as in you're, preaching, but there's some very basic things put in a very nice manner. Would you like to share something about that? The reason why you put it out there, or what is your purpose in that actually?
Okay, so for that, I should thank Madhumita for all the Instagram content that you're reading all the while. Madhu has been helping me with the Insta handle, the content generation, the graphic, the posters, selection of content for Homepreneurs Insta handle, and she is very good at it. So she goes out there, she searches, she does her due diligence. So this is what I like about Madhu and Anusha. Anusha helps me with managing my Facebook community, which is close to 900 on members on about homepreneurs, where future homepreneurs come and ask doubts, questions, fears, express their fear, express their doubts, express their anger at why something is not working the way they want it to be. So Anusha helps managing that team. Madhu helps me manage the Insta handle. So she takes great pain. We have a weekly discussion and we arrive at a certain theme or a certain idea. So both of them take this idea forward, find the right kind of content, put it, package it very nicely. It's not, as you said, it's not something new. We are not giving new information. We are putting out what's already there. It's just that what you're reading are subtle reminders to what you already know, so that you can take action on it. The whole purpose of these information or the gyan that everybody has been reading on a handle is to reinforce the confidence that says, don't let I don't know to stop you from knowing what you can know, what you can amass. There is a lot of knowledge there that you can amass. You are skilled, you are blessed, you are intelligent. It's about time you started remembering it and start acting on it. Because we get so bogged down with our everyday responsibilities, we forget that we are intelligent. We start asking for answers instead of looking for it. We forget that we are blessed and we start complaining rather than looking within our own skill, within our own source, strength, support system, within our immediate circle of family and friends who are a wealth of knowledge, asking for support. We just forget to do a lot of things because we are so bogged down with the other things that take up our mind space.
Yes, I think I keep emphasizing on this, the power of ask. You need to ask people, and only then they will know that you need help or you're also vulnerable. I think that is one of the important things which we need to keep reminding. And thank you today for doing that we can ask for help and we can seek help. There is
no shame in asking. There is no shame in asking for help. There is absolutely no shame in asking for help. Asking for help put forth the personality that here is somebody who's willing to learn something that she doesn't know already. Right. And when we ask for help, there is another heart out there that says, I have been through the same trouble and let me help you out. It's passing it along. You don't really, passing it along doesn't really have to be the Starbucks coffee only. It can be this way as well.
True, very true. So Deepa, what is your vision with the way computers have integrated, the chips have integrated into every part of our life, and very soon I'm sure we're going to have them on our physical self as well. What is your vision for Homepreneur, and what do you think we can do more to empower people like you have been doing now? What more do you think you want to do? What is your purpose, if I may ask?
So for me, as I said in the start, my journey has been very closely tied up with Zoho. And within Zoho, it is Zoho Creator. So my way of taking it forward is I provide training on Zoho Creator. This is Zoho's development platform. So to be even more direct, I would say that I have a new batch coming in this February. That's another a couple of weeks later. I'm going to start a new batch for the Zoho Creator Learning. So this is my way of paying it forward to the community to generate more homepreneurs. Find out what is it that clicks you. You can you could be a music teacher, you could be a wellness expert, you could be somebody who has extreme subject knowledge, XYZ subject. It could be I mean, you have a very special skill which nobody else has, or you have a very special skills and a very unique way of delivering that skill compared to everybody else. Put it out, get it done, find your space, and once you've reached the comfort zone of your space, step a little away, start imparting that information to another person. Because the more you give it away, the more you receive. The more help you give away, the more knowledge you give away, the more knowledge you receive. And it all comes together in a big package that helps us in our personal growth over a period of time. I mean, we talk to our children. We talk to our children saying that, you have to be honest, you have to be smart, you have to be skilled, you have to understand, you have to be competitive, but you should not be cutthroat in the competition. So we give them so much knowledge without knowing that whether they really understand that part also or not. So this entire mindset will change when you start telling other people that how they themselves can empower themselves. See, I am an instrument. I am not empowering anybody. I'm just teaching them, just like my primary school teacher taught me English or Hindi or Kannada or Sanskrit. I am teaching a language to you. Now, how you use a language is up to you. I mean, my English teacher taught me English language. So I can write a poem with it. I can write a story with it, or I can just write some nonsense and throw the paper away. The responsibility is on me. So similarly, try to my vision of homepreneurship is, see, you are capable of empowering yourself. You need help, ask. There are other people who have passed through the same difficult journey. Maybe there are things that they can help you out with. And once you feel you're satisfied, you have reached that level of satisfaction, as a tribute to somebody who has helped you, pay the help forward. It will come back to you in many ways that you can imagine.
So Deepa, when you're not juggling homepreneur and home chores, what are you doing?
Oh, I do quite a bit of things out of character. So one thing that I have recently picked up is conversational Sanskrit.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, when you said language Sanskrit, I wanted to ask you at that time whether you speak Sanskrit. And okay.
Yes, I do speak Sanskrit. Yes, I speak Sanskrit. I started off, again, thanks to COVID. I mean, I should not say thanks to COVID. I'm very sorry.
No, COVID taught us many things, and we can thank COVID for those parts.
Yes.
It's okay.
So it's the Akshara, which is the Samskrita Bharati Center here in Bangalore. I've known for a very long time. They conduct Sambhashana Shibirams, which is conversational Sanskrit camps for 10 days in their premises. But only at COVID times, they started this as an online program. So I had signed up for one such program, and it was a very, very refreshing journey. 10 days of totally, I studied Sanskrit in my 10th standard, which was very limited to Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. But after this 10 days, I was able to piece together small sentences to the effect of introducing myself. 5 sentences. If you ask me beyond the 5 sentences, I'm lost. I can't take the conversation forward. So interacting with those teachers, interacting with those students, and several other Sambhashana Shibirams later, today, yes, I can hold a conversation in Sanskrit. I can speak in Sanskrit, and I still continue to attend such Sambhashana Shibirams, and I have taken up some correspondent courses offered by Aksharam on Sanskrit. These are regular correspondent courses. You have to study by yourself and give the exam. The exam is, as they say, is only a method to understand how much of knowledge that the person has gained. It's not, I mean, not particularly useful for what I'm putting it, saying that, no, I'm going to get a certificate in this or that. No, but it gives me a lot of joy reading and understanding and speaking in Sanskrit. So this is something that I do out of character, because doing something out of character helps me de-stress also. Otherwise, I'm constantly looking at code. I'm constantly looking at things that are too oriented towards a direction. When I step away from that, when I move my glance away a little bit, it's like looking at the screen for a very long time and moving away and looking at a greenery at a very far space. So that gentle coolness that hits your eyes, that hits your brain, that's the feeling I get by studying Sanskrit, by listening to Sanskrit. So I'm not very much into Vedanta or philosophy or scriptures. No. Those are at my level, it's a little bit too high for me. I'd rather
overhead transmission, as I call it for myself.
Yeah.
So Deepa, some of my audience are budding entrepreneurs or students. Is there any book that you would recommend to them that you're reading or which has influenced you in your life? Would you share something about that?
Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish.
Yeah,
yes, you should read that book. And once you've finished with that book, only once you have finished that book and you have decided to start something on your own, go ahead and read Get Things Done, GTD. These two books can help you take places, but make sure that you read them, you understand them, and see how it fits into your routine, your lifestyle, and should there be any change? If so, it starts from you and nobody else.
Wise words and much needed. Deepa, before we wrap up, I just would like to know whether, with all the blogging and writing that you did, are we going to see a book anytime soon?
No, I don't think so. But there was a book. Okay. So before GST was introduced and I was having a hard time filing my returns. So I have compiled that as not the journey per se, but how to file IT for freelancers. So it's a small 10 to 20 page ebook that was published. It is no longer relevant today because the rules have changed. The procedure has changed. But yes, this was published sometime in 2010. I pulled it off my website because it stopped being relevant.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much. And last question, any mantra or quote that you live by and which you want to share with us?
Start. Do not stop until you reach your goal.
Thank you. I think the starting is the most important, and it's wonderful. I look forward to connecting with you again and asking you many more questions. Thank you for being here on One Mom is Equal to All Moms, Deepa. Such a pleasure having you. Bye, and we will connect again.
Thank you, Shambhavi. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for helping me express how each women out there, each homepreneur out there. There is a homepreneur wanting to explore. There is a homepreneur wanting to empower herself. Just go and start. You start. You will realize you can either be wrong, you can either be right. There is no middle answer to it. But if you don't stop, you will never know your answer. So go start. If you're right, continue. If you're wrong, change course. Again, it's the same thing. It's not a difficult process. It's a simple thing. Start, evaluate if it's right or wrong. If it's right, stay on course. If it's wrong, change course. You will reach where you need to be. It's not difficult. It is totally doable. You can do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Deepa, for having spent some time with me today in the morning. And I look forward to connecting again. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Shambhavi. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.